Hey everyone, it's Christine here. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to this week's energy reading. I don't know why I just paused. I'm clearing out the space here before we start. And you are lucky to be getting this energy reading very close to when I upload it. It's just been a weekend. I don't know about you all. It felt like we went from a slumber, literally from a dreamy kind of a Pisces season state. Virgo full moon hit on Friday, and then bam, the spring equinox up here in the northern hemisphere arrived on Sunday the 21st, or excuse me, the 20th. And for those of you in the southern hemisphere, you had the fall equinox. So it felt like a change completely. It was very sunny here where I live in North Texas, and I could just feel the energy shift completely. But so welcome to spring or fall, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Aries season, which runs until the 19th of April. Many of you have felt this shift. I know I certainly have, and what I'm doing, many of you may be feeling or getting ready to take action on many things. Maybe you're in the planning stage right now, which is in line with the lunar cycle. But Aries is a sign of just passion, moving forward, charging ahead, just doing what they want to in an assertive, sometimes aggressive way. And I always like to say in a lovingly aggressive way, because the ruling planet is Mars. But we have Mars right now in Aquarius, so many of you may be really itching to get out of your homes, especially with the change in seasons up here, well, anywhere in the world, and getting together with friends, reuniting, kind of amping up your social life and whatnot. But I will say, balance that with not being too impulsive, because I know my Aries people, you do love taking action. So just be careful on that this week with anything, because I felt the jolt of energy and I started spring cleaning, like not just that, just decluttering everything. And then I had to take a step back, and I'm going to finish that later. So also be mindful of around the people you are with. Some of you, especially with the North Node in Taurus, and even with the recent retrograde in Venus, which has now gone direct, we're out of the shadow period. Some of you may be really re-examining who you surround yourself with, right? And this week, especially as you're wanting to go out, many of you may be wanting to surround yourself more with like-minded people. Maybe you are trying to connect to a new tribe, or you're essentially detoxing, cleaning up your life, especially with spring. There's a lot of new, fresh energy. So let's dive in to this week's reading. I have quite a few decks out. I intuitively pick decks for that week, and we will start first with these oracle. They're affirmation oracle cards. I love them. I love unicorns. I have a unicorn behind me. I decided to change scenery. We're in my bedroom. It's light in here. It's clean too. My living room still has like my broom, my vacuum, and everything else in there, even when my one wiener dog is here. So I hope everyone is doing well and just feeling, there's a change imminent, something big apart from the seasonal and astrological solar cycle change, right? Oh, here we go. First card of the week. Sometimes I'm like, oh, look what we got, manifestation. If you could have anything you wanted, what would it be? You guys, this is tapping directly into the energy of Aries, because right now it's a time to go after your goals, to name them, to get ready and to take action. Get specific and get greedy. You are holding a magic wand and you can conjure up anything. Could it be that when you declare your wishes out loud, you're actually casting a spell for your dreams to come true? Or is it just that, in a very practical sense, the more people you speak with about your desires, the more folks there are who know what you want and might have the means to help you make them happen? Either way, stop waiting and start manifesting. But don't use that word if you don't want to. Everyone get ready. This is the season of positively, lovingly manifesting your desires, your goals, and what you want. Start getting, if you haven't planned the steps out, it's not too late. Use that energy of Aries and get those balls and ducks all in a row. I think I said the balls thing wrong. But get yourself ready. I just feel a lot of amazing things are coming. But I have to note today, there's been a shift, at least where I am. The weather is very different. And it wasn't vibrant, almost like ushering a new, fresh energy like there was yesterday. I don't know if any of you are feeling that. It just feels kind of a little bit in transition. Ironically, I pulled from the Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck and we got Hermit. Retreat and recharge. Well, we just had a full moon, so many people are still feeling the effects of that. For any of you that are especially sensitive, many of you could still be hibernating, contemplating, reflecting, closing out the season. Not everyone is rearing to go on, you know, the first day of spring or fall or the change in solar cycles. Sometimes there are many of us who need that transition, that time to acclimate ourselves. So it's okay if you're still hermiting. I'm actually hermiting a bit too. I don't have any plans, like social plans, I should say. It's not like I just, you know, I'm sitting on the couch staring out the window. No, but I don't have social plans for the next 2 weeks. So I'm perfectly fine hermiting, getting my sanctuary in order and cleaning. So many of you, this is a great time to wrap up anything that you'd like to. Use the energy of the full moon. And as we're going, right now we have the waning gibbous position. And so use that time to get clear on your next steps, what you'd like, take care of some things. Maybe you need to recoup your energy before you embark with that Aries energy of charging forward. This is exactly actually how I'm feeling today, the Hermit energy. Very calm, very meditative, very introspective, and it was very different from yesterday's energy with the spring equinox. So I'm pulling a soul's journey card. A lot of my readings, I love focusing on our soul path. And of course, any messages that I get about any other topics, I do bring them in. I'm also feeling an enormous amount of love during meditation. I will say I felt an enormous amount of self-love and a lot of, I'll just say, partnerships are going to take off. That's the right word, not head off. They're going to take off this month. So I know for many people, they are, oh, here we go. The reason why I talk in between is because when I shuffle, I wait for the cards to drop. Honesty. Purple. This has been a huge color. And for me, it signifies not just spiritual development, spiritual ascension, growth. Many of you, if you're watching this, maybe you have just awoken recently in the last 3, 6 months, maybe year. Honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. This is actually in line with the Hermit card and what things I'm feeling, and also manifestation. You've got to actually be brutally, I would say radically honest in terms of what you want to manifest. A lot of people, for example, and it just takes practice. That's it. It's not right or wrong. It's a lot of practice, learning curves. But like, I want to manifest a house. And when that does come into their space, they're like, well, that's not the house I wanted, or the apartment or vehicle or whatever it is. Well, it's because you have to get really honest with yourself about what it is that you want in life, regardless of what other people around you think. Maybe you don't want a partnership right now, a romantic relationship. Maybe you want to develop and expand your career. You want to travel more. Maybe you do want that house. Get clear. What does it look like? How many floors? What color is the door? Where would it be? What do you see around you? Get really honest, because Pisces season that just ended was really about delving deeper into something higher. I'm like having trouble taking the words out there. Delving into something higher, into our spirituality, into the expansion of our consciousness. And so now we're definitely taking action on more, not just earthly things, but also spiritual projects, spiritual development. And it's not something we're just waiting around, because Pisces tends to, it's not just dreamy, but they're a lot more in their spiritual aspect than they are in terms of always taking action. And so this is a very different type of energy. So get really clear, get very honest with yourself. And also I got to this message. If you are dealing with dishonesty in your relationships right now and you just feel like, what the hell, people are just deceptive around me. They're lying to me. I don't feel like they're telling the truth. Take a look at yourself first and examine actually. Where is it that I may not be honest with myself in this dynamic? Have I been honest with this person? Have I communicated my wants, my needs, my preferences? Because not always, I don't believe this always, but people mirror to us many things that we're learning on our journey, right? It's kind of like a Nintendo. How many of you like Nintendo? I like the old-fashioned Nintendo. You used to gather coins and get all those cool little treasures, stars and whatever little gifts on the way as you completed each level. It's kind of like that with this, you know, each type of dynamic we come into contact with, people we meet along our journey, they give us those types of things, but they're not always the fun things. They're always like mini lessons, things to learn, things to help us gain strength, become stronger, more resilient. Ooh. So I pulled from the angel guide. So I do a lot of work with angels, especially archangels. And they've just been popping into my reading this week. So I really wanted to get it. Oh, I feel like a clear message is here. Intuition and download. Look at the colors. I totally get fire sign here. These look like wings. I almost said eagle, but these look like wings here. I'm just getting sacral solar plexus energy, heart chakra energy. A lot of you at this time, and it makes sense, especially since we just left Pisces season and now we're in Aries, ready to take action on what it is that we've been marinating over in Pisces season, and even during winter, the last several months. It's been a heavy season. And it doesn't matter if it's winter or summer, wherever you are in the world. It's been heavy because of pandemic situations and lockdowns and changes in all different levels. I'll just say of policies and politics. So a lot of you are getting messages at this moment. And many of you are getting more clear on what it is you want to manifest, your goals, where you want to move forward in this new spring or fall season. I'm going to read this card. This is absolutely beautiful. I also get a tropical vibe. Many of you may be in Micronesia, Macronesia, Polynesia, Hawaii. I'm getting tropical. I mean, there's a lot of places that are those places that are tropical too. There's like heat. I'm sensing heat, but those are the places that came to mind. Let's see what this message has in store for this week. Intuition and downloads. Hearing high-pitched noises, seeing flickers of light, and having the sense that beings are visiting you in your sleep are all signs you are receiving downloads from heaven. When you draw this card, sorry, I have it held down. When you draw this card, your angels want you to know that the feelings you are having and the intuitive urges that you have been feeling are divinely inspired. If you feel that you've been having psychic insights into a particular situation and have been wondering if you can trust them, this card is confirmation of that. This is a time when you are able to see, hear, and feel beyond human senses. Your intuition is becoming stronger, and you are in touch with angels, guides, and other divine beings who are encouraging you, who are encouraging your growth and connection to the universe. The extended message. I know many of you who do watch energy readings, tarot readings, anything on spirituality, esoterics, metaphysics, even paranormal, the occult. You may identify as a witch, and I know that's a broad term because there's different types of witches. You may identify yourself as a starseed, light worker, empath, highly sensitive person. You have a big mission here. So this extended mission, you are a light worker. It means you have the capacity to bring light to the earth through your presence and purpose. So you may be feeling sensitive and overwhelmed right now, but know your gifts are getting stronger and your psychic muscles are moving. You're encouraged to look beyond what your physical eyes are showing you. So call upon those that you work with. If you work with any beings, any entities, if your spiritual team, if you have people in your spiritual team, call on them. Be very patient during this time. This really taps into, a lot of you are not just ascending more, you know, kind of graduating different levels, like Nintendo. You're graduating different levels of the earth game, of earth, of life. and ascending spiritually, but a lot of you, I'm just getting an overwhelming feeling that you have just started your journey and you're starting to receive a lot of messages, synchronicities with numbers. Perhaps you're seeing 1111, 22, 33 master numbers. Many of you could be master healers, master builders, master teachers in this world. Some of you are changing careers, and that's what's going on right now too. You're changing some aspect of your life, but I'm getting careers, work, business, creativity. So believe and simply, it's okay. Sometimes it's easy to reject. This is something I'm planning to do soon, but I actually rejected my own awakening very early on. I rejected a lot of the signs the universe was sending me. My guides were like, damn it, Christine, 10 years, guys. I kid you not. So I was a stubborn one. Just be open. That's the best thing I can advise, especially if this is very new to you, especially if you do come from a religious background and you are grappling with things that you're like, what's going on? Especially when things have been a certain way for a long time. Just be very open. I'd suggest documenting, journaling some things this week because things are going to take off. The energy is rapidly moving. You guys, we're completing March soon. I feel like we just started it. So that's a beautiful message. The next card that I have is from the Archangel Oracle deck. So this is specifically relating to a specific archangel. There we go. Archangel Hope. Look for a cosmic gift. Remember you deserve it. Do you see this? This to me represents just the freshness of spring, of fall, wherever you are in the world, of new beginnings, because a lot of new things are starting for you all. Many of you are excited because you're going to be making big changes. I keep getting career. Many of you are starting your own businesses too. Partnerships too. Some of you may be going into business with others, even though you initially thought it was going to be you. I'm seeing a lot of rainbows, a lot of ties, connections with spirituality. This really goes hand in hand. You guys are receiving a ton of messages right now. And it could be some of you are Pisces. There are a lot of butterflies here. We have 12, which boils down, or I should say not boils down, but it narrows down to a 3. So we have the strong influence of ascended masters. I definitely got connected to Jesus and Kuan Yin before the reading started. But the light is beautiful. This is really of hope. Look out the window. I know winter for many of you, myself included, it was tough. It was heavy. Actually, I feel like this was one of the heaviest winters. I'm not talking about snow or any of that or the cold. Just the stuff that's been going on, not just in our lives, around the world. It felt very dark. And so we have an opportunity to peek outside a window and know that there's a lot of brand new things coming. Beautiful things. And I see the time ticking, so I'm going to keep going. Final card is the Self-Care Oracle. I've mentioned this before, but self-care is paramount in your journey. And for many of you, this may be something very new. If you're reparenting yourself, if it's something you've never really experienced. I'd love to do a series on this actually, because I was never used to self-care as well. I had to learn what it meant. Meditate. For any of you wondering, should I meditate? Meditate. Look at this. You guys, oh, do you see, there's so many symbols here, so many synchronicities. You guys are strongly attached. I want to peek out and talk. You guys are strongly attached to spirit right now, a divine connection. It could be telepathy with others, and not just this, I'll just say this world, but through dreams, through other dimensions too. Starseed families, many of you have been activated or starting to see, what's the language? Light language. That's very new to me actually, Starseed, but I do identify as one. So this is beautiful. And look at the sun. I see like it's a rebirth. Meditation is going to give you the answers. Some of you are like, nope. Remember, you don't have to sit like this. It doesn't have to be Zen meditation. You can go walking on the trail. You can do something that gives you flow state. Maybe you enjoy cooking and you just lose yourself in it, or love kneading bread or knitting or doing pottery where you can just feel the clay, or you love sports, somewhere where you can just lose yourself and just get into it. That's a form of meditation too. For me, I do formal practices of meditation as well, guided visual visualizations, I should say, and Zen, but I also love walking many miles in the forest, and it's such a cleansing and just beautiful way to kind of get in touch with myself. It's when you're quiet, you start feeling the nudges, hearing the nudges, and remember, it's not always the senses that we think we should be attuned to. Sometimes you hear things with your third eye, and you see things as well in different ways, and you can smell things, but not in a literal sense. It just pops up. Wow, so this week, even though we just entered Aries season, I would say from the messages coming through, take extra time before you actually go out there like a ram. I know Aries people are probably out there. My son's an Aries. And he was just ready. He just bolted today. He had so much just assertiveness. And yeah, if you're not ready to bolt, that's okay. Take this time for this week to reconnect with yourself, reflect, get very clear on what your next steps are with your goals, with what you want to manifest and bring into your life. Because remember, we are always manifesting, whether you believe it or not. And a lot of times people don't think they're good manifestors because they're not getting what they want. But it's because you guys are very strong manifestors. You're excellent. But it's the reframing of what you're thinking, right? You're thinking with blocks, with beliefs, self-limiting beliefs, and many times in a negative mind frame. And so those things manifest into your life. And I was like that too. So be really careful and be also very honest with yourself. Finally, meditation, however you define it, it's going to be one way. It's going to bring you closer, give you messages on your next steps. Just be open. That's the main message. I hope this reading resonated with someone. It went 21 minutes. I keep saying I want to try to keep them relatively short. I know what it's like to just, you need that short time frame. So I'm wishing you all a beautiful spring or fall wherever you are in the world, day or night. And if you feel called, I'd love it if you could subscribe, like, and share. And I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.